Well, it's starting time to work on the conference tables, the board table and the meeting room table. And the first one I'm going to work on is the meeting room table. It's a 6 by 36 inch table, and it's going to be a standard river table. These are the two slabs that I'm going to use to join together and pour a river down the middle. This one will be flipped around, and they'll both be kind of arranged in a better pattern when it comes time to pour the epoxy. But the first thing I have to do is flatten the slabs, and I've got my slab flattening jig here. You have this sled that rides down those rails, and I've got my box here that has my router, and I'll put a very wide 2-inch flat bit in here, and I will just work it back and forth. I'll just take a little bit at a time. It'll take multiple passes, but I'll get there. And then I'll flip it over and do the other side, and then I'll get, it'll be a parallel. The tops will be parallel and flat. And that's about it. And so let's get started. Okay, so this will sit in the gap in there, and I'll have that knot that will sit. And once this is all filled with epoxy around this, you'll just see this top island part, and it's going to look amazing. Trust me. Might not look like much now, but it'll look like something very good here in just not too long. Bear with me. All right, now it's time to start dimensioning up the wood so it can fit into the form. I've got the wood set where I want it. As far as the distance apart, I've got one end squared up and the outer edge is squared up. Now all I got to do is finish this last edge, and they have to be 80 inches long to fit into the form. Okay, so I've left these, I cut those so that I actually have space on the edges that I'm going to put pine boards, sacrificial pine boards down on all sides to get it to the final dimension I want, so I can cut those off at the end. We're going to put them in the slabs and arrange them how they're going to be. I think that's going to work out. All right, on to the next step. All right, so I'm here getting ready to pour my 36 by 72 meeting room table. This is the first of 3 river tables that I'm going to be doing for this project. And so first thing I'm doing, I got my form here. I put the sides on with construction adhesive. I'm going to vacuum out the form now. I'm going to put on some Tyvek tape on the corners. Then I'm going to wipe it down clean one more time with a rag with some mineral spirits on it, and then I'm going to spray some mold release and then get my pieces set. So let me get to cleaning. So I've got the Apel or Apel mold release, and I'm going to spray it on now. All right, I'm going to get some clamps to hold the stuff down, and then I'll mix my epoxy. tint. The color is Caviar, and it's a metallic, not metal flake, but metallic. And so I'm continuing to mix it, then I'll be pouring it here in a minute. So I'm using the liquid glass deep pour epoxy. I've been watching a lot of Cam on Blacktail Studios. That's the stuff that he recommends. He does some pretty nice work, so I figured, oh, what the heck. So I've got it mixed. I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes and let the bubbles come out, and then I'm going to pour it. So I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so let's pour this one. All right, so I'm going to take the screws out of the meeting room table form. Well, let's see if we can open it up a little bit. I do believe that's all of them. Okay, so my first river table I did not put on, I forgot to put on my mold release. So I put it on, made sure I put it on this time. So we need to find out how this will do. I'm going to have to get something more serious to pry this with. Alright, so I went out and got my flat bars. Good life lesson, a flat bar and a hammer will get you a lot of places in life. Just saying. I may have to call it quits right now. So I'm going to need assistance to lift this up. So, all going to have to just be patient. excuse the attire, but I'm in my finishing clothes. So I've got it sanded to 150 on the wood and actually 1,000 on the epoxy. And I'm going to put my Rubio monocoat down now. So I'm going to put it on, squeegee it out, wipe it down, then let it sit for 5 minutes and then buff it out. So according to the folks at Rubio, you can't take too much off, but you can definitely leave too much on. So that's why I'm squeegeeing it all to this one side and trying to make sure that I get every bit of it. And this just shows you I made about 24 milliliters. And I made way too much. It's just crazy. Right, and this table is done. So I'm going to show you the base I made. Pretty happy with how that came out. Just straightforward meeting table, and that's it. And my epoxy, I'm not completely unhappy with this. It actually came out pretty good, despite the fact that it very nearly went to exothermic runaway on me when I poured it. But I was able to catch it and finish up nicely. All right, there you go. Okay, so this is the table, the meeting room table, all done. Here's the river. And the oak is willow oak that came right off the Rex Healthcare property. You see some of the metallic swirl in there. I'm very happy with how that came out. Step back and let you get a view of the whole table. I would like to have done this in its final location, but it's raining and I'm not sure when I'll be able to get it delivered. Hopefully fairly soon. But there it is. Alright, if you like what you've seen, please take a look at some of my other videos. If you think you've gotten some value out of this, please click like and subscribe. I would appreciate that too. And leave me comments. I answer every single one of them. And as always, please stay safe. Bye-bye.